It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us. Did I say that wrong?
No.
Okay.
Oh, are we a little bit tired and sleepy?
Yeah, do you know one of those things? It must be, like autopilot whenever you're driving and you just end up in the place. I'm pretty sure my brain wasn't engaged there and I just spoke.
That happens on a regular basis with me. Oh, sorry, that sounded really rude. Like I was just accusing you of no, I meant myself personally. Yeah. I feel I need to sing a song today.
Oh, what song are you going to sing?
On my own, pretending he's beside me. Now it sounds like a love ballad, which I didn't mean it to sound. Basically, we're on our own, aren't we?
We're on our own. He's too sick.
He has left his position. The chair is currently empty.
Yeah.
There will be no
help
looks midway through when we say something that we maybe shouldn't have said or we've said it wrong. I mean, who's going to keep us on track?
I mean, this could be interesting.
It's like the olden days, isn't it? When we started off.
And it feels weird, doesn't it? I'm like...
It kind of feels like, when the principal's not in school and you're like, we can run riot.
Yeah, we've got to be easy.
We could run riot today, then.
We could do it.
We could be dancing off the roof of cars. We could take this podcast out into the street.
We could.
We could put our leg warmers on and our headbands.
Do you know what? I think we should just do that.
Absolutely. It would. Oh, I know. We're so good, aren't we?
So good.
He doesn't give us enough credit
because I don't think he understands just how talented we are.
Yeah, and the segues that we can get in.
Yeah. Did you lovely people guess what we just did there?
The listeners will have got it. They'll know exactly what musical we're doing today just from what we've just said. What are we doing today?
Fame!
I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high. Do you know what?
What?
Really random, but that is like the one kind of song I really like in this. Oh no, that's lies. There's
the one
a few
song
others.
You like?
Yeah, I'm not a.
Oh no, I always skip this wee one because I've heard it so many times. Yeah.
Remember. You need to get one of the club remixes.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that was really going about then whenever we were first going out clubbing?
I was glad you finished that sentence. Excuse me. We never went out. We did for a day.
Yeah, we did for a day.
But we move on. Here, have you set that camera up?
I'm pretty sure I have, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, do you want me to just go round and just double check?
No, because that's too much of a faff.
Okay.
The listeners won't appreciate it.
No.
Well, this is the stage musical based on the 1980 musical film of the same name, with book by José Fernandez, music by Steve
No, Jose.
Jose.
Yeah.
See, I knew I'd said it wrong. Jose Fernandez. Did you write that phonetically in your book so you said it the right way? Okay. Music, for the third time, by Steve Margoshes.
Yeah.
We're just going with that, aren't we?
Margoshes.
Margosh. And lyrics by Jax Levy. Levy, like Eugene Levy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Schitt's Creek.
I do.
Make a musical. Oh. Could you imagine Moira Rose in musical form?
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm seeing the musical numbers already.
Love it.
Anyway, it was conceived and developed by David De Silva. Mm-hmm. I like that name. That's a class name, isn't it?
These were all pretty hard names to say there.
I know. But you're welcome. I took one for the team. And it premiered at the Coconut Grove Playhouse in Miami, Florida.
What a name.
I'm glad you just said that, because as I said it, I had a smile on my face, because I think it's the best name of a theatre we've had in all 2 seasons. In 1988 that was, and it ran off Broadway from the 11th of November 2003 until the 27th of June 2004 at the Little Schubert Theatre under the title Fame on 42nd Street. So when they took it to Broadway, they changed the name.
Yes.
Why? I just don't get it. Like, what is the difference between Fame and Fame on 42nd Street?
Because I think people were just thinking fame and thinking TV show, film, and they wanted people to realise that there was a difference.
Oh, that they had... I mean, let's be honest here, people. It's the same blooming story. It's about kids that are attending a performing arts college. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they really needed to change the name. They were just maybe trying to be fancy, were they? De Silva had produced the 1980 film about the students attending New York City High School for the Performing Arts. And it was critically and commercially successful. And
it was mentally successful.
Yeah, which then meant it was followed by a 6-season TV series. I knew there was a TV series, but I had no idea that it was 6 seasons.
I know, 6 seasons, especially back then.
Mental.
Was a lot, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And controversial. Obviously, the musical was significantly rewritten from the previous adaptations. Yeah. With almost a completely new score, except for that title song, the Academy Award winning Fame. But controversial, I actually much prefer a number of the songs that were in the TV series compared to the musicals.
Do you?
Musical songs, yeah. I think the musical songs are a bit ropey, a bit underdeveloped and a bit crap, if I'm being quite honest with you. I'm not going to go down the chitty route, but they leave me wanting. Whereas there's some, like, rocking numbers in the TV series. I mean, I don't mean rocking as in that they're rock numbers, but I mean like Desdemona really and like High Fidelity, high. I love those.
No, see, I don't know it well enough.
Fair enough. Do you like the musical songs? Have I just...
Well, I mean... It's
poo-pooed all over them?
No, it's difficult because I was obsessed with this album and this show, and I think we were.
The musical album? Yeah, okay.
You know, Are We Gang in Stagecoach, I think we felt like this was us. I think we put on this production many a time for talent shows.
It was a bit of a favourite, wasn't it?
End of year performances, and anytime we could for, I would say, like a year, maybe 2 years, we just were constantly doing it. So I have a love for it because of those memories. Yeah. And whenever I was researching it, I was obviously listening to because I haven't listened to the album probably since I was about 15, 16. And no, maybe 17, because and I'm just trying to think of time frames.
You're so good at time, though. I couldn't tell you if it was 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago.
And I knew every word, so that's how much I had listened to it. So it brought back those memories, but I was kind of going, oh, that song's a bit... Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I think I'm definitely well educated, better educated on better musicals now than maybe I was then.
Yeah, so at the time as kids, like we would have come to this at like maybe like early teens.
Yeah, we definitely did.
And we were all over it because
this was us.
We were living. We pretended we were in New York City school of performance.
I know. And we were just as talented as these people, and we constantly like performed it, whether people wanted to see performances of it or not.
No, I recall that like being heavily involved in my life for about 3 years, maybe with one performance or another. Do you know what I mean? But I think I got a bit bored of it by the end, you see, because of that.
I think we put on performances and then we would have like randomly sang the songs for different things, but we never fully did a production of it.
No.
Do you know, it was never that. It was just us as teenagers, you know, like little performances that you did for your parents. We just did them. And
well, sadly it wasn't a story of us.
No.
But it was the story of several students attending the school, amongst them fame-obsessed Carmen, ambitious actress Serena, wisecracking comedian stroke bad boy Joe.
Yeah.
That was really loud in the mic. I do apologise if I've deafened you. The quiet musician Shlomo. I do love his name, Shlomo. I wish I knew Shlomo in real life.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because it's just a class name. There's also talent but dyslexic dancer Tyrone, determined actor Nick, overweight dancer Mabel, and serious dancer Iris from a poor family.
Yep.
The show premiered in the UK at the Cambridge Theatre in 1995, and since then there have been multiple runs, including a long run at the Aldwych Theatre from 2002 to 2006. It must be the most well-travelled show, though.
That's what I was thinking.
The number of, like, West End theatres it has been in, so we've already mentioned the Cambridge and the Aldwych, right? But it also played at some point in the Prince of Wales Theatre, the Shaftesbury Theatre, the Victoria Palace, and it's also had numerous UK tours, all of which, in my opinion, have been absolutely pants. I haven't seen a good UK tour of it. I have not seen... Now, don't get me wrong, there have been bits and pieces or people that have been within these tours that have been very good at the part they've played, but in my opinion, I have never left a performance of Fame like wanting to go out and dance on the roof of cars in the street, which is what happens in the film, and that's how you should feel when you leave. Maybe it's because it's a bit of a downer at the end sometimes.
Yeah, and
no, but they do the Megamix, don't they? They bring back that Fame, I'm gonna live forever.
It is an odd one. It is an odd. It should work. It did work in different mediums, so you're wondering why it didn't work in musical theatre.
Does it work on stage for you?
Again, I think I've only seen it, or maybe I've seen it twice. I think I've seen it in London once, and then we've seen it as a group whenever it came to Belfast.
Yeah.
And I just liked it. But funny, one of my memories of it is Sharon, our drama teacher, saying to us, it just wasn't as good, and me being offended.
Yeah.
And going, oh, what? It's not as good. And it was the first time that I sort of realised that we all have different opinions, and especially if you... Not the first time we all have different opinions, that sounds rubbish.
We had different opinions the whole way through our childhood.
Yeah, what I mean is...
we fought like cat and dog.
No, I know. What I mean is like...
And the hamster and the goldfish all thrown in and together.
It just... I suppose I was coming to the musical for the first time. That was the first thing that I fell in love with, as in... I didn't know about the film or the TV show.
Yeah.
Sharon knew of the film and they grew up watching the TV show. So they held a special place in her heart. So whenever she said she didn't like the musical, I was like, oh, but I like the musical. I don't like those other ones because they weren't part of my childhood. This one was part of mine. So I just always remember that conversation.
It might also just be seeing it through different eyes in that, you know... I think I probably liked it more when I was younger compared to when I experienced it slightly older. Do you know what I mean? And it always seemed to fall a bit short for me.
Yeah, I get it.
And I mean, for somebody who has loved singing, dancing and drama from an early age, it should be a golden ticket of a musical. Like, you know, you should adore it. So we should have the same feelings about it as an adult as we did when we were a child. But any production I've seen of it, it's just been like... Now, don't get me wrong, it hasn't been atrocious.
No, it just
There was
hasn't
one in
left you.
particular that was absolutely ridiculous to the point I was ready. I would have asked for my money back.
Okay.
Only I'm not horrible like that person. But listen, we could be completely wrong because it has played in more than 30 countries around the world, including Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Denmark, France. You can tell that it was an alphabetical order list and it stopped at F because I'm not going any further.
No.
Interestingly, though, and I forgot all about this until I did a bit of research in it, it had its first Irish tour, like an actual Irish tour. So not like a UK tour that then did Ireland. Like it was an Irish tour.
Oh, okay.
and it opened in the Grand Canal Theatre in Dublin on the 19th of August 2010. But the roles of Nick and Serena were cast through RTE. For our listeners who aren't from here, it's like one of our TV channels. RTE did their own RTE Fame, the musical. Search. It was a reality TV show. Yeah. And they cast the role of Nick and Serena.
No way. I did not. I'm going to have to Google that.
Oh, you're going to have a ball then. YouTube it later, yeah.
Wasn't that long ago?
I do remember seeing, because I did watch a couple of episodes and went, oh, this is pants, I'm not watching.
Oh, okay.
But I totally forgot they had done that until I was researching. And
my goodness.
But I thought that was quite interesting. It was an actual Irish tour of it.
That's cool though. We need more Irish tours.
Yeah, agreed, but maybe just not as pants as that was.
No.
I'm so apologise if anybody out there was actually in it.
In saying
you were really good.
In saying that, it's not a horrendous musical. I just don't think the characters are well developed whenever you look at it from adult eyes. As in, they're a wee bit one-dimensional. And I think it's a bit lazy, like, the dancer that comes from a poor background, the one that wants to be famous and goes off and leaves everything behind and doesn't listen to,
teachers and all the rest of it. Yeah.
And then, the fat one. And it's just like...
I agree. It's too predictable.
Yes, that's the word.
And I think, from my humble opinion, who am I? Like, who are we, Lauren, to be like? But I also think there's too many characters, and they
100%.
try to give each of those characters equal weight in character development, which means none of the characters are developed, and it's so shallow. Like, everything's approached in a very shallow way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. But
I would love someone to rewrite it though, because it has the potential of being like like, look at modern musicals today, and like all of the new and exciting things that are seen. Like, it needs a rewrite. Do you not think?
Oh yeah,
I think there's definitely I think
if they trim down a couple of characters, so they focus on 6, don't they? There's 6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, 7.
You're very good. How do you remember? I had to count them there.
And I think if they trimmed that down even to 3, 4, and sort of focused on more of the training side, actually did it more like Fame, what it's like to learn what you need to and then go out into the world and try and make it. Yeah. It may be better, but again, because that's a really difficult story to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
In an hour and a half?
Yeah, well, that's it. So there was too much. Yeah. There was too many characters. There was, even... And I liked that they looked at the 3 disciplines. Like, there was the acting department, there was the dance department, the singing department, or the music department, and they all they were given their equal, but it meant then that rather than having one character from each, they had like 3 or 2 or 3 characters, and they all felt they had to be developed, because you've got the
singer and the musician,
and
then you've got the classical. You've actually got 3 dancers, don't you? You've got like dancer, like break dancer, isn't Tyrone?
So you've got Tyrone, who is like break dancer, Iris ballet dancer, and Mabel the fat dancer.
Yeah.
Like, so of course there's a fat dancer.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and then
it's just
acting,
so predictable.
You've 3 as well. Well, Carmen's
Serena,
meant to be
she jumps all over the place, doesn't she?
Yeah. So it's there's just a lot. But in saying that, there was a lot of musical lyrical lingos for me.
Did you have a lot? Okay. Shall we get into our musical lyrical lingos then?
Yeah.
Go for it.
For I Want to Make Magic.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Love the catchy tunes and insightful discussions on musical lyrical lingo? Why would you not? Now you can reap your fandom. Ooh, we've got fans. And show off your love of all things musical theatre with our exclusive merchandise. Ooh.
From comfy tees,
T-shirts,
mugs to stylish tote bags, we have something for every fan. Our designs are inspired by the show's iconic themes.
because we are so iconic.
And featured playful quotes, alpha, ba, and graphics that will have you humming along.
I will never work again.
Wherever you go.
So head over to our merch store now and start shopping. Spend your money, people. And don't forget to share your pics on our social media using hashtag podcast Musical Lyrical Lingo merch. We love to see our fans rocking our gear.
Yes, we do. Happy shopping.
That was was that my song? I wanna make magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like Nick, the most boring character
I know.
ever written in musical theatre history.
But like, it's kind of...
Don't you dare say it was perfect role for me.
No. Well, I
No.
mean, the two of them together, I always felt like it was you and me.
Oh God, we played opposite each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
How did I forget that? Can't wait to get to those memories.
Anyway, so I want to make magic. So,
Do you?
well, yeah, and this was very me. I always felt like I wasn't being taken serious enough. I wanted to be the serious actor. And do you remember that year, Sharon? And we've talked about it before. She messed it up and she went, you always want to do serious. You always want to do dancing. And so she had you as the father, me as the comedy character. Do you remember in Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah.
And SJ was like the mother, wasn't
That's
she?
when I knew my career was over.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't hate it, but I was like, this is just different.
But I like she did it. I like it was character development. Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing to our
No.
you know, that there's no development there. But yes, I get
anyway,
you.
okay,
But
so-
this was spot on casting for you.
Comedy.
No, you played Serena,
Oh, I played Serena.
the
No, I didn't
budding
play-
actress.
Oh, yeah, Serena, the budding actress, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the
You-
one that goes off. No, that's Carmen. Yes,
That's
yes, no,
Carmen.
I was Serena.
Yeah.
I was like getting confused there about names. Yeah, but I want to make magic. So,
So you keep saying.
I know, in the song, and it mentions,
Yeah.
I want to do The Lion in Winter, Brecht and Harold Pinter.
I bloody knew you were going to be all over this.
Sophocles, Eugene O'Neill.
Do you want me to sing that bit? Because that was my line.
Okay, go for it.
I want to play the lion in winter. Brecht, Harold Pinter, Sophocles, Eugene O'Neill.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Give me the Tony.
Brecht is Bertolt Brecht, and he was a German theatre practitioner and playwright. He
And you
is known.
loved
I loved him.
in school.
Epic theatre was
Epic. Not so epic, in my opinion.
his, which means theatre should be self-reflection for the audience. The audience.
Bore off.
I'm not going to go into this because Timothy really hates all this stuff, but he
No,
wrote Three Penny Opera, Caucasian Chalk Circle,
Yep.
and Antigone.
Antigone!
Well,
no,
a
was it
version
not
of Antigone.
Sophocles?
Yeah, a version of Antigone. Then we have Harold Pinter, who was a British playwright, and he was famous for The Room and Birthday Party. Sophocles wrote Oedipus, Rex, and Antigone.
Antigone!
He was Greek. And then we have Eugene O'Neill, who was an American playwright and wrote Anna Christie and The Iceman Cometh.
Can I just take a wee moment, Lauren? Mm-hmm. For you to appreciate how seriously I take this podcast.
Yeah.
Because you know my feelings
On Brecht and
towards the likes of Brecht and Sophocles. And like,
Stanislavski.
I just can't be arsed, to be quite honest with you. I think there was a time for these wonderful people and what they did. But also, I think an awful lot of it was nonsense. But I just want you to take a moment to look at my book and
look, you've actually
the
even
level
written the name down.
Look, and I've actually like put a paragraph for each person. Like I did take it seriously, I promise you.
Go you.
For example, Sophocles, his 7 surviving plays are notable for their complexity of plot and depth of characterization, and for their examination of the relationship between mortals and the divine order. Like, that's how far I went.
I know,
Even
go
though I
you.
can't stand any
Go
of them.
you. Well, what I
We
was
did a
going to
pretty
say,
good version of Antigone, though, to be fair,
We
in
did.
school.
an amazing version that I really wish was recorded because it was, and that's not us blowing smoke up our own butts, it was amazing. We were so good.
Okay, you're blowing smoke up
We
your own
were really
butts
good.
now.
No, we had
Just
a really
say
good director,
it was,
but
it was
it
great.
was really, really good. It was good. Who I was going to say in I Want to Make Magic, he mentions all of those people.
Mm-hmm.
And I then used that song to make myself sound really smart.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I think it was 5th year going into upper 6th, or it was 4th year going into 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 4th year going into 5th year, and talking about, what are we going to do next year? And I literally said it in order. I was like, are we going to do Brecht or Harold Pinter or Sophocles or Eugene O'Neill?
You did not.
I swear I did.
You're ridiculous.
And drama teacher was like, yeah, I suppose we could do those. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it was the musical that like, I literally just rhymed off that lyric.
You are ridiculous.
Isn't that hilarious?
Talking about ridiculous, you know the whole, I want to play the lion in winter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was referring to the lion in Lion, Witch in the Wardrobe.
Because
you know the way Narnia and stuff and winter and stuff. That's what I thought that was referring to. Not that it was actually a play. Yeah. There we go. Another ridiculous thing, you know, in the first, like the show opens with them all singing, pray, pray, pray. I pray I'll make PA. I had no idea what PA was.
Oh, Timothy Bell.
I know. I know. Obviously, for the listeners, they go to a performing arts college, so they're praying about getting accepted into the performing arts college.
They go to FAME, and FAME is educational and PA, performing arts. So what they're hoping for is that they get into the PA course. So it's, you know,
had
it's
no
that
idea.
Specific course.
I do like that song, actually, but I was like, what is the PA? Why are they praying about PA? That is
hilarious.
I know I'm really stupid sometimes, aren't I? I was young. No. That's my excuse.
Yeah, I like that too.
Did you say that Eugene O'Neill was a Pulitzer Prize winner?
I didn't say that, no.
Oh, you see?
Go, yeah.
I've done well, haven't I? I've like surpassed myself. Mm-hmm. And he won that for his first full-length play. Good going for our Eugene, whoever he was.
An American playwright.
In that same song,
yes,
they sing, I want to be really... What? I want to really see what I can be. Another Jason Roberts or De Niro.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Jason Roberts was. Jason Nelson Roberts Jr. Was an American actor known for his roles on stage and screen, and he gained a reputation as the interpreter of the works of playwright Eugene O'Neill.
He did indeed, yeah. He was sort of known to like sort of understand his style and then interpreted it. He was also married to Lauren Bacall, who we mentioned in our Vita episode.
Lauren Bacall, me.
Yep. Yeah. And then Robert De Niro is an American actor. But it's really interesting because when was this? This was 1980s?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1980. Based on the 1980 film.
Yeah.
And then the musical was premiered in 1988. So we still know Robert De Niro as being a big, massive star now in 2024. But for his name to be in this, he had to have been a big star. Look at that, how long his career.
His career's insane though. Like, he is unbelievable. Like, absolutely. He is unbelievable.
Like, I shouldn't need to explain
it's
who Robert
just
De Niro
funny.
is.
Anytime you like see him, obviously not in a movie, but like, you know, at award ceremonies or like on the red carpet or in interviews, he always looks thoroughly unimpressed. He just makes me laugh. Like the Oscars, did you see his face at the Oscars? It was
I don't think I did, actually.
It was almost like he was like counting down the amount of time he had to still sit in that seat. But anyway.
Love it.
There we go. I want to make magic. I want a new song. That's what I was saying when I had to sing it. Can we talk about Tyrone's rap?
Well, can we talk about the Rude song first?
I was leaving the Rude song because I have got myself in more hot water in this podcast than I ever planned to.
I know. But...
So I'm on my best behaviour.
It is so rude.
It is rude.
And I don't know if I totally got that at the time. No,
I would hope not. We're far too young.
I know, but I mean, even whenever I was like, oh my gosh, this is so rude. Now, I know in more modern versions of it, they say, they change it slightly to, I can't keep it down, can't keep it under wraps or something. They change it a little bit.
Okay.
So he's talking about how he...
I can't wait to see how you're going to describe this
He
song.
talks about how he gets a Physical reaction whenever he sees a girl.
It's an acting class,
Yeah.
and the teacher asks them to share moments when emotions have, like, you know,
taken over.
And he basically talks about his boner.
Yeah, well, there you go. You said it.
And when he gets it and stuff, but like that's the thing. Like I think we had no idea.
No, we didn't.
And I also think that I have vague memories of like Sharon skipping over it really quickly.
100% did, but it's a song that gets stuck in your head, right? And see, whenever I was re-listening to it, I'm going around the house going, I can't keep it down
when that girl's around. It's awful.
Yeah.
And it's not a great song, to be honest.
Can't keep it under my control. Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Anyway.
Can we move on?
When you put,
you've actually got musical lyrical lingo.
When you put your quarter in the slot.
Yeah, naive, I had no idea.
I don't know what that is.
Well, that was putting your quarter into, so the old like dirty shops, you would have had to go, like, you would have had to go, and there would have been back rooms where you would have put your money in, and it would have brought up a dirty movie.
Oh.
And there were like wee rooms that you could just sit in and watch.
For a quarter? That was cheap. And then it says, well, you open up Miss January's fold out.
Dirty mags.
So that's, a centerfold of a magazine. It's amazing how many songs
talk about dirty magazines.
Yeah.
Well, until the modern world in which we lived in, people who wanted a kick could only really go to
dirty magazines.
Or dirty rooms out the back of like dirty shops.
True. Okay, well then that's all I'm done for. Can't keep it down. Tyrone's rap.
You're
next.
braver than me. I was avoiding that. Okay. Let's talk about Tyrone's rap. Okay, so Tyrone is a very talented dancer.
He comes from the wrong side of town.
He's also black.
Yeah.
And they just play into all of that, which is absolutely fine. There is a place for that. But my God, give the character a decent rap. You know, if they want him to rap, give him a good rap, which is what I mean earlier when I said if we could just rewrite it and get somebody like Lin-Manuel Miranda in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at the likes of Hamilton and see how rap in a musical works.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to throw my hands up when I heard of Hamilton, the musical that was going to be, mostly rap from start to finish. I was like, well, no offense, but it's not my type of music. I'll never want to listen to it. Now, you cannot argue with how clever and how special Hamilton is. Mm-hmm. But could you imagine if there was a creative like that in charge of this? Like, it would make all the difference, because truly, as it is, Tyrone's rap is atrocious. Like, it is the worst writing in this show. Yeah. And it's unfair to that character, because it's the first thing that he really does.
Yes, and also it kind of
you're like,
jars you a little bit, because
completely.
It almost feels like you can't then connect with this character, because he literally just throws out everything, and you're like,
his first experience on stage is rubbish.
Well, true, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just terrible. Like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
How bad the rap is, and it's not the performer's fault. It's just the writing of the rap.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you love good music and good podcasts, you'll love Roots Music Rambler. I'm Jason Falls. My co-host Francesca Folinazzo and I talk to the singers, songwriters, musicians, and more in Americana, alt-country, bluegrass, folk, blues, and beyond. We share our own takes on the latest news in the space and recommend new music for you to explore every episode. Come get to the roots of the music you love. Find us at rootsmusicrambler.com or go wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to Roots Music Rambler.
And it doesn't start with, ain't got no rich bitch to tell me which.
You're going there today, and you're talking about porno shops, and now you're saying bad words.
I can rap that, which is terrible. Do you know, I shouldn't be able to rap that the way that character raps that. It's
just off, and I'm glad it jars with you as much as it jars with me, but there's a few lyrics in it, I suppose, that had me questioning what the meaning was or what it was. So he says about, I know about Pryor and Porter. Pryor and Porter. Pryor, Pryor. I think it refers to Richard Franklin Lennox Thompson Pryor Senior,
Yeah,
who was an
just
American
known as
stand-up.
Richard Pryor. You don't need to give him his full title.
Listen, if I'm going to do the bloody research in this terrible rap, I'm going to give it its full title.
I have never heard anybody refer to Richard Pryor.
Do you know who he was?
Yes.
I had no idea who he was.
What?
So he's an American stand-up comedian and actor, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he reached a broad audience with his observations and storytelling style, and was widely regarded as one of the greatest and most important stand-up comedians of all time, and I've never heard of him.
No, and this is where, if our EP was here, he would be able to correct me, because I am going to get this wrong. I'm pretty sure he had relations with Marlon Brando.
Oh.
He heavily influenced Eddie Murphy and those type of comedians.
Was he one of the first black comedians? Is that fair in saying?
Successful ones.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was in, like, is it Murphy's Millionaire? No, that's not the right thing. He was in a lot of, like, films as well.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, Gene Wilder.
Okay, yeah. I really should go and check him out a wee bit more. Like, I genuinely had no idea who he was.
Really makes
hence
me laugh.
the full title.
title.
But listen, if we've said anything wrong there, it'll be in the show report, I'm sure.
Yeah.
From Aaron.
Yeah. And then Portier is.
What is that? Because I didn't know.
Sydney, the actor.
Sydney Portier?
Yeah, Sydney
And
Portier.
what did they do?
He was a black actor.
Okay.
And
no idea.
Was in. Oh my gosh.
Something noteworthy.
Yeah, and you would know him. This is where we need him, because
Aaron, that is.
Yeah. He is a famous actor and would have been one of the celebrated black actors.
Okay. He also mentions Reggie Jackson, Jesse Jackson, Michael and Michaelia Jackson.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Reggie, American professional baseball player. Jesse Louis Jackson was a prodigy of Martin Luther King, a civil rights activist, politician, and ordained Baptist minister. We know Michael. Michaelia Jackson was an American gospel singer, widely considered as one of the most influential vocalists of the 20th century, integral in the development and spread of gospel blues in black churches throughout the USA during a time when racial segregation was pervasive in the American society. She met considerable and unexpected success in a recording career, selling an estimated 22 million records and performing in front of integrated and secular audiences in concert halls around the world.
I didn't know that. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think the name of one of the films that Sydney was in was Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
We'll Google it.
Yeah. But I know that he was in more stuff, but it's really going to annoy me. I also mentioned Sugar Ray, who was a boxer.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali, and then Dr. J, who was Julius Irving. So it just...
And was he a doctor? Was he a DJ?
I think he was a DJ.
Jockey kind of person?
Yeah. But
he also mentions Times Square Daughters. Now, are they prostitutes?
that's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And he mentions toke, T-O-K-E. Did you know what that was?
Well, like smoking drugs.
Yeah, a pull on a cigarette or pipe, typically one containing cannabis.
Yeah.
2-line blowers, is that just 2 lines of blow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of content there.
Yeah.
Maybe just written in a better rap would be useful.
But it also feels a little bit stereotypical or something.
Yeah, and I was also like, okay, we need to character background here, so let's just throw it all out in. Whereas actually maybe a bit of dialogue and a bit of a conversation with a teacher or another character would have sufficed, rather than giving per Tyrone the most inadequate rap. Yeah,
because he says, like, living off beans, greens and pork in a basement tenement.
Yeah.
And tenement is a building with multiple dwellings.
Yeah.
So every single thing just feels like it feels like they want to show that he came from a poor background.
Yeah.
Like the other dancer, but they had to make it slightly different. So we'll just do it in a rap and we'll just throw everybody that is current or has been current.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine in that, you know, he was the underdog. He was maybe just because of life and situation, and maybe, you know, the times that it was, maybe Tyrone wouldn't have been the traditional candidate to end up in a performing arts school. So hence his struggle then that was to come and all the rest of it. But you know, the content of the rap doesn't annoy me, or the character. Yes, you're right, it's very stereotypical, but maybe there were lots of kids like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But give them, a decent character arc, or certainly a decent introduction to the character. It's like, I don't know how any actor could make an impact on first, on their first entrance.
Yeah.
To be given that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's aggressive in its tone as well. So then you're immediately, you should be, on his side.
On the side of all of these.
And it's like, but he's screaming at everybody in the class. Like, as you say, that opening line, I don't need no rich. But I get it, but I just think it doesn't help him. No. I don't think it helps his character, which is not fair. Because Tyrone's a brilliant character.
Yeah.
And you can do Fame without him. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're billing him as, him and Carmen are basically the two main characters, and this is what you give him.
Yeah, true.
Not fair.
Okay.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, do I have that next?
I just didn't know who Meryl Streep was, which is very sad because I love Meryl Streep now.
Exactly the same. And funny, I had this conversation today with CJ, my daughter, who we were listening to musicals, and Mamma Mia came on, and she was like, has Meryl Streep been in a lot? Because we watched The Devil Wears Prada this week. And I thought that is really funny. And I turned around and I said, I'm actually probably going to mention this in the podcast today. But whenever I was around your age, I wasn't aware of Meryl Streep and her back catalogue.
Yeah.
And you won't be until you are older and you realise how much she has done and the range.
She probably only sees her as Mamma Mia.
Well, no, she hasn't even seen that. She only knows her, apart from watching Devil Wears Prada this week, as the witch in Into the Woods.
Okay.
So it's only been one thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
She has seen her in.
Just because you've mentioned it, what are your thoughts about this Devil Wears Prada musical that's coming?
Oh, I think it'll be good.
I think so too.
I love the film.
It's starting to look like they've got really good people involved. So Elton John has done the music, or partially done the music. He has done the music. His last musical that he did was Billy Elliot, wasn't it? And he's done Aida. All of them are good. Like, he hasn't written a bad musical yet, has he? Lion King, obviously, yeah. We've got Matt Henry, who I know from Kinky Boots. He was the original London Lola. Okay. He's just been announced last week that he's going in. Who is playing?
I can't remember her
name. It's Vanessa Williams.
Well done.
Who is like amazing.
Yeah, so she's...
What's the main character called? Because I've never seen the film. I'll have to watch it before.
Miranda.
There we go.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Yeah, should be good.
Looking forward to that. In Think of Meryl Streep, a few other people are mentioned. Did you get any of them?
No, go for it.
I don't want to steal any.
No,
of yours.
it's okay. Go.
Okay. She sings about. This is like Think of Meryl Streep was your song, wasn't it? Serena sang it. No.
Serena sang it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, poor Nick had I Want to Make Magic. Serena had Think of Meryl Streep. Talk about character development. Just shove them a song, sure. It's great. Yep. She sings about Think of Katharine Hepburn. We know who she is. Think of Jerry Page. Yep. I didn't know who Jerry Page was. You're going to laugh at me because I've got her full title again. Yep. Geraldine Sue Page. Was an American actress with a career which spanned 4 decades. Good for her. Yeah. That's not an easy feat. Across film, stage and television. Yep. She was the recipient of numerous accolades, including an Academy Award, BAFTA, 2 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and 4 Tony nominations.
Yeah. So a bit...
Jerry Page must be good.
Yeah, because she had 8 Oscar nominations but only 1 win, and Meryl Streep has had more than 1 win. She's had 2 or 3, but she's been nominated a lot more times than she's won. So looking back now, it's interesting that she's maybe taken on that role of Jerry Page, but she hasn't. Meryl Streep still is wonderful now. Do you know what I mean?
Are you thinking it should have been called Think of Jerry Page?
No.
Think of Meryl
I just
Streep?
mean now in a modern day. You could maybe say, think of Emma Stone and use,
of course,
you know, Meryl Streep as the Jerry Page.
Yeah.
But I still
there's
think
something in my
so
brain where like a famous actress or singer was name checked and then it was changed. Spamalot. They talked about Britney Spears, but then I think they changed it for the UK.
Oh, right, okay.
But I can't for the life of me remember what it was changed to. You know, in one of the Divas songs.
Yeah.
In the original, it was Britney Spears, but
well, I know they do that in the Heights. In the original, it talks about not really similar, but it talks about Donald Trump carrying his golf clubs, but then when they modernized it, or for the film, they said Tiger Woods.
Okay,
something
very
like
good.
that.
Yeah,
but,
very good. Do you have any other musical lyrical lingos?
No, I had that for Meryl Streep, but just obviously it was the first time I sort of heard of her as well. I do sometimes do that, and funny I did it this week. It was like, think of Meryl Streep.
Oh, do you? When you tell yourself
think
that,
of
do
Meryl
you?
Streep.
What would Meryl do?
Funny that I was at my cousin's wedding and I seen some photos of some of our family members who have passed away, and it just got me a little bit emotional just before, as I was a bridesmaid walking down an aisle, and somebody was like, it's okay, just breathe, just think, and I went, just think of Meryl Streep, and everybody had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, it's a song.
Oh, bless you. And did Meryl get you down that aisle?
She got me down that aisle.
Good.
In the
Meryl.
Teacher's Argument, it talks about celestial fools. What do you think of the Teacher's Argument song?
It's so controversially. I don't know if it's because I am a teacher, but it's the characters that make the most sense to me in this show. And in answer to your question, sorry, I'm being long and drawn out. I like it. I like Teacher's Full, and what's the other one that she sings? These Are My Children.
These Are My Children. Yeah.
I think both of them are their highlights for me.
No, I like Teacher's Argument too, because you can, as an adult, you can really see both points. And suppose when I was younger, probably would have leaned more towards the performing arts. Yeah. Where you just let them dance and sing. But it's like, it is really important that, not that you should have a backup plan, that's not what I'm saying, but just it's important just to think of your whole career. Yeah.
Because for anyone who doesn't know, the Teacher's Argument is that it's an argument between the principal, who's in charge of the academic side of the college, and the dance teacher, isn't it? And the dance teacher's kind of saying, but listen, Tyrone is talented. He's probably one of the most talented dancers I've seen in a very long time. And, the principal's going, yes, but he's not putting the time into his studies. He is dyslexic, which means he needs to work harder at them or give more. Like, he can't ignore that side of things just because he's finding it difficult. I think only now saying it, like, I think actually that was probably one of the first times I had come across dyslexia, or what that was, or what difficulties that brought actually. Okay. And I didn't really think of that until I've just said that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they make a point of that, and they've got that horrible scene where he, the teacher who is so insensitive gets him to stand up in front of the class and tells him to read out of the book, and he can't read it, and sorry, I've just I
love it. Another musical
taken over. You're fine. You were talking about celestial fools.
Yeah, celestial fools means positioned in or relating to the sky. So, sometimes people will say about anybody that wants to go into performing arts that your head's in the sky. Yeah. So just thought that was interesting. That, and then I have from Make Magic Repeat, where they mention Willie Loman. Excuse me.
Oh, is it catching? Oh gosh, I might be finishing this podcast on my own.
Willie Loman, which is the main character in Death of a Salesman, which is a play I love. And then Blanche Dubois, just about said that. Dubois, in Streetcar Named Desire.
I knew that. Are you impressed that I knew that character
impressed.
reference from a straight play?
And then Chekhov is
Stella!
mentioned, who was a Russian playwright, and he was the father of modernism theatre, which would then go on to be Stanislavski. He was inspired by him, and Chekhov wrote The Seagull, Uncle Vanya, Three Sisters, and The Cherry Orchard.
I'm back in English literature.
I know. Pure drama.
On Meryl Streep, she sang also about save up all the best, like Midas the miser. Did you know? You would have known who Midas was.
No, go for it.
King Midas is known for his touch turning everything to gold. Although King Midas had immense wealth, he was always dissatisfied and unhappy. He was always greedy for wealth and wished he had more gold in his treasure. We've talked about him already, have we? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
When it was going to drop.
We talked about that in Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
This is what freaks me out about our podcast, Lauren. How on earth did we do two musicals back to back, like one after another, which references the same person? How did I forget that we have also talked about it? Yeah, who knows? Anyway. For anybody who didn't get enough clarification as to who King Midas was in the last episode, now you know. You're welcome.
That is so funny. Also, can I just say...
I'm so stupid.
See Dancing on the Sidewalk. This is my last
Dancing
musical lyrical
on this. Now that has potential, that number.
Dancing on the sidewalk.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dancing on the
Good
sidewalk.
dance number.
I'm going to say it was the inspiration for Dancing in Life. Dancing in Life.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Steven Schwartz nicked it.
100%.
I also think that's part of my problem with this show. It's obviously, you want the dance numbers to be like, wowzer. I think they're restricted. I think any UK touring set has been too bulky and big, has taken up too much room. So actually, they have relatively little performance space on the floor. Yeah. Like they normally seem to have like balconies and steps lockers up to places. Do you know what I mean? And actually when you get to that, you want to have like loads of dancers and you want to give them loads of room for them to sing. And then sure, when you bring on a half of a New York City cab at the end, you've even less room. You're like tiptoeing past each other.
True.
It's now coming to me more and more why the issues with this.
Yeah, the issues with it. Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I mean, some of those songs, like I do like Think of Meryl Streep. I like the repeat of I Want to Make Magic because that duet is you and me.
Oh.
I know. It really is. And we sang it.
Don't cry.
I know. The way I know I always feel about you.
Why can't we?
Why can't we?
Why can't we try? Oh,
no.
It was awful. To play.
We'll play a love sing, not make magic. Yeah.
Scene. We don't need a violin to play. I mean, it's just cheese. Cheeseville. No need.
I'll always love that. So these are my memories. Just doing that in stage school. Us playing opposite each other. Because, again. I mean, at one stage, Timothy, you and me were going to run off to London, live in a flat together, have a red telephone box.
I was about to say, do you remember what we said we would have in our living room? Because that's the dreams we dreamt, people. That we wanted to have a red telephone box in our living room.
Yeah.
I know.
Just do performances every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we never quite made it.
Never quite.
Because we went completely different directions.
I still walk past a red telephone box, though, every so often and go, I would still have a red telephone box in my living room if I could.
Do you know what? In the new podcast studio, we should have a red telephone box.
I mean, do you know what I have in my front room?
What?
I have 2 red theatre chairs.
Well, I'm jealous of that.
Like, actually, from...
the operas.
Legit.
Whoa.
I know.
I'm jealous.
They are my prized possession. I mean, like, who gets them in the will, there'll be battle royals, like, to see who comes out. I think I might actually just put that in my will and go,
you can fight.
You fight to the death.
Fight to the death for the
chairs. Yeah. Anyway.
But make it musical.
With high kicks and... Yeah.
Love it. So we were obsessed with it from about 2001 onwards. We did go to see it in the Opera House in 2004.
Was I with you on that trip? Okay.
It was November 2000. We all went as a group.
And did I give a...
I mean, I do remember coming out singing and dancing.
On the sidewalk.
But then I don't think we listened to the album again after that.
Aye.
Because there would be some albums or songs that I would have listened to whenever I was younger. Maybe haven't listened to them again, put them on, and Aaron would recognise them. Mm-hmm. So 2004, I would have been with Aaron by this stage, definitely November, and I put on Fame and he didn't recognise it. So I think I kind of give up.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I gave up too, to be fair. After the last UK tour I saw.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's the worst production I've seen.
Well, it hasn't come back. Sure, it hasn't.
Yeah. Now, fair. I think I saw it on the Tuesday.
Okay.
So normally, opening, and sound was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Like, mics didn't work, mics cut out. Like, it was shoddy.
Oh dear.
But that shouldn't be, these, people are employed to do get-ins and setups in every venue, so.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, I've given this quite a hard run here.
I know, but it's okay.
It's been a while since I've gone hard on a
That's okay.
show. I know, I mean, I'm very hard to please.
Okay, standing ovations.
My standing ovations, I think I've already mentioned. I like the teacher's argument, and I like These Are My Children.
These are my children. Something like that.
That's right. Nearly in tune.
I just can't sing
also,
in tune.
my issue with that is that they seem to have taken to... we've talked loads on the podcast about, stunt casting. It always seems to be the bloody teacher that they stunt cast. Some have worked, like, for example, I've seen Misha Paris, who was bloody brilliant. But we've also had the likes of Sunita, who have played the teacher once upon a time. Do you know what? And that song is too good to faff about with. Do you know what I mean? But I do love it. I think it holds a special place also now that I am a teacher, because every word that she sings is exactly how we're supposed to, we do live our life like that. Yeah. Because being a teacher is an important job, and we do hold young people's early lives in our hands. And we can never, and we've talked about it when we talked about Into the Woods, like, children will listen. You've got to be careful the things you say and what you do. I also appreciate, and think you noted on it, how the principal does say, yes, he's talented, but he needs something else. Like, he needs an education behind him. And I think too much of that is not said enough in today's, like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's different from when we went to school, where when I said about, well, there's a potential of me wanting to be an actor or go to stage school, and the career teacher literally laughed because, well, that's not a career. Well, actually, you'll find it is a career. Like, people do this for a job. It's not like that anymore. But also, I do think, young people who, have a love for, singing, dancing and acting, it takes more than that to go and be successful. And I think sometimes too many just jump into it and go, oh, this is what I'm going to do. There's almost an air of entitlement to our young generations now as well. And it's like, even the most talented, it might not work out for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to have something to fall back on. And let's think about this now before you take that jump, rather than taking the jump and not working out for you. And then you're like, what to do? Yeah. And I don't think enough people in a position of responsibility, shall we say.
Yeah.
Go, good for you. I will fully support you. I will help you in whatever way you want. But what is your backup? And I sometimes feel like a meanie because I will always go, and if this doesn't work out, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like, oh, don't dare to utter that. But I think if you're in a role of responsibility, you should be asking those questions.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not that you don't believe in them.
No.
But I think it's just making them aware that a lot of it comes down to right time, right place as well, right look.
Yeah, and especially for this world, you know, as in the performing arts world, whenever people say, I want to do this and I want to be successful, people say don't have a backup plan because then you're not going to be successful in it. You're always going to go for your backup plan, but you need to be realistic in the performing arts world.
Yeah.
Particularly because it does come down to, do you look right?
In any world now, like everything is so competitive. Like business is competitive. Like public sector is competitive. Like even to get a teaching job now,
you
it's
have to be willing to put the work in.
Yeah.
And talent no longer like outweighs putting in work. Does that make sense? Like, as in, you can't just get something because you're talented.
Sometimes talent isn't enough.
No. So
it's talent plus what?
Yeah. And experience.
Yeah.
I think that comes down to it as well.
Oh, here he's back.
Oh, what have you come in? Your mic isn't in, so do you want to use my one?
Yeah, they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
I knew you had a good expression.
See, he just came in at the right time.
While you're here, and before we finish the podcast, because I think I've done him to speak. Richard Pryor.
The comedian?
The comedian.
Yeah.
Name a film he was in.
Richard Pryor was in a film? Are you not talking about Sydney Pryor?
Hear no evil, see no evil.
Okay, he was in that. Yes, that's the one with Gene Wilder, isn't that right?
I think you said that.
And then Sidney Poitier. What was he in? He was in a couple of...
I recognise the name.
He was another actor. That's okay. No, I knew you would know Richard Pryor. But anyway.
You mentioned Hard Work there. I like that song.
Hard Work.
Hard Work. The opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way they kind of dance in that too. Hard
I just
work.
like that
it's like a step.
And it's like they take the three departments and they kind of like sing over each other and they all have their own way. There's a musical something to that. Is it canon? No, it's not really a canon.
Oh, I just make that up.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the last number, Bring On Tomorrow. It's quite weepy though.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love In LA.
Oh, In LA is a good song too. She has a good character, like she has a good plot, like her adult, downfall like, and stuff.
You should have, you shouldn't have ran off to LA and...
but you chase your dreams, like you can't be foolish. No, I know, but you can be foolish, and that's what I mean. You need to have people kind of...
She wasn't listening to those
That's
people.
True. That's true. Fair
and
point.
then my favourite is Love Sing. That's a stand now, because it's us.
It's Your husband's just walked into the room and you're talking about playing a love scene. This is a bit awkward. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Just saying, Aaron.
Well, that was Fame.
Fame.
It was an interesting one. It was one that was from our past and we're going to leave it in the past.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I would be interested if a new creative team and really like new and
it would have to be
modern producers came on board, what they might be able to do with it.
Yeah. But
I would also love to see them maybe if they were to rewrite it and involve some of the songs from the
okay,
TV
go back to What Works
series, because they were really good. Loved them.
Okay, all right, we'll see what we can do.
High fidelity, high. Do you not know that song?
Yeah.
High fidelity, high fidelity.
No, it doesn't matter what way you sing it. Still don't know it.
No, I'm not singing it a different way. That's the song. That's how it goes. I'm not making it like it up. Until next week, I'm away to rewrite some more songs here, folks.
Bye.
Bye.